Hello, this is TikTok from beatbox.guru and welcome to the second part of the Tiny Beat interview. This time, this Czech beatboxer is gonna tell us about his crew, the Beat Burger Band, as well as the projects that he's doing all over Europe. Enjoy watching! Okay, please tell me about your inspirations as a beatboxer. Who were you inspired by when you were starting out?
All right.
Who are you inspired by now?
Okay. So when I started, it was like 10 years ago. So something like 2005, 2004. And by the time, as far as I remember, there was no stuff on the internet, not really much. Not like today when you open the YouTube and you have maybe millions or at least hundreds of thousands results for the word beatbox. There was nothing like that. I remember there was a site, I think it was beatboxing.com. It was a site where you had only records, no videos. I don't remember any video. You had records of beatboxers like Tuggy Fresh, Razel Kenny Mohammed, Kid Lucky, but my hero was Killa Killa. You know, that was so different. He was so different than the other beatboxers, and Killa Killa was for me like a first hero and first beatboxers who I was really inspired by. I was inspired by his sharp and clean sound, and to be honest, until now I haven't heard anybody else who got a stronger sound than Killa Killa. For me, his reverse techniques and stuff. It was like, what's this? Like this sounds so crazy, and combining all these sounds and making this show. And on all these records, it was very inspiring for me. So for first 3 years, I was mostly listening and being inspired just by Killa Killa. After this time, I realized that there is somebody who's called Razel. I didn't know Razel. I didn't know who's this guy, and I know how important guy in beatboxing world is this guy. And but when I was listening then the other beatboxers, I realized that Razel was actually their hero in the beginning for them. So suddenly I was so different because I had a different hero for inspiration. So everybody got these throat voices and beats and blah 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 blah, and I had only like a only like a drums with some scratches or reverses, and this is how my bass really started. I really adore, and until now, and I think everybody who at least a little bit understand beatboxing should really adore Roxy Loops, because back then I think he was the best beatboxer in the world. I don't know about anybody else. I don't know how it's possible that Joe Turner won the World Beatbox Battle Championship, because for me was best the Roxy Loops. If you check all these beatboxers, all these styles were, and compared to Roxy Loops, he was the best for me. I really like practicing by myself. Sometimes I had a look at the internet, and I was listening to beatbox. First trainings of mine were really I was just beatboxing in the basement in my parents' house. I was always the guy who wasn't practicing with the microphone, because I also realized when you practice with the microphone, even your beatbox doesn't sound so good. You are on the microphone and it sounds, you know. But if you show me the beatbox with a microphone, and I will see, yeah, but it's not actually so good. But if you make your sound clean without microphone, you sound 10 times better on the microphone. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I was the guy. I've never practiced with the microphone.
What do you use for for your warm-up, for your vocal warm-up?
That's funny because I just don't do warm up. I mean, of course I do. Just I do only routine, just basic beat, just to make them clean, just to get ready my mouth. But I think after 10 years I've been doing this, I don't really need a warm up. So I before the performance I do easy stuff, easy beats. I do bass lines like. Just to relax a little bit, I do la 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 and stuff. I just do a few minutes, I go then and so on and so on and so on. I get ready my voice because if you use throat singing and or throat voice, so you actually need a kind of warm up because instead of it can sound like and you just need to get rid of all the stuff you have in your neck or just get ready your neck for the throws. But basically I don't use any special technique for warm up.
What about preparing for a battle? I don't mean here preparation of your beatbox routine, but rather a preparation of your attitude. Do you do this kind of 8 Mile stuff in front of the mirror?
Okay.
For the battle, or how do you prepare for it?
No, I feel in my beatboxing I feel very confident, and when I go to the battle, I'm just conscious about things what I want to do. I realized that my power in beatboxing is I was always focusing on transitions. When I was listening to beatboxers later on, I saw they are doing one beat, they do cut, they do some blah 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 blah, and they go to another beat. So it's really like you stop the music you're playing and you tick 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 to another one, and I never liked that. So I wanted to have when I do routine or freestyle in the battle, I wanted to have it always as a one song. You know, not really do one thing, cut, another thing, cut. Just always wanted to have a smooth transition. So my preparation for beatbox battle, it was just big conscious. Just realize what technique I have, what strong things I have, and which of them I want to use in this round, because maybe I go to another round and I want to keep this for another round, like a next level. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Okay, and do you plan your beats for specific rounds, or you just freestyle?
I just freestyle most of that. I mean, it was like that in the last Czech beatbox battle, and to be honest, I didn't like it. I didn't like it myself thinking like this, that I was so conscious and I was like, yeah, I go to the battle because I think I probably win, because I was thinking this. And so I didn't get ready so much for the battle. When I compare myself from the previous battles, I was going 1 month or 2 months before the battle, I was going out with my phone, with a bottle of water. I was sitting by the lake in my hometown where I coming from. I was sitting by the lake. I switch on the phone and I was freestyling 2 hours. And based on a freestyle, I create my routines. At least I found new beats or new techniques, because as you guys know probably, you find the best things when you freestyle, and when you want to repeat them you just forget them. So you probably, if you don't record your freestyle, you probably losing a lot of good stuff which you can use for the show, for yourself, for the battle.
Now, if we could talk about Beatburger Band,
All right.
And how you guys met and how you guys cooperated with each other musically.
All right. So Beatburger Band is a project which exists like, I mean, 10 years, something like that. So in the beginning there was seven guys, and I don't really remember the origins of Beatburger Band because I wasn't there. I've been a member of Beatburger Band last 4 years or something like that. So in the beginning there were 7 guys, and they were doing stuff which wasn't really beatboxers doing back then, and they were very musical. So the style what the Beatburger band is doing is combine beatbox skills, like a modern beatbox skills, and singing and making really music. It's not like a band which is only crazy about techniques and the sounds and stuff. It's a band which try to be different. And we just feel it like that. And we just doing music. My beginnings in Beatburger band were like they've been many changes in Beatburger band. When I started with Beatburger band, I think we were four. It was me, Jaro Kosiga, it was Nasty, and it was Johnny Typek. And that was these four guys. Then Nasty separated, and we were only three with Kosiga and Johnny Typek. Then Johnny Typek, he got sick for a long time, so it was only me and Kosiga, so it like a beatbox duo. And then we got one singer, Andrzej Rumo, who's very strong with his bass voice, like for the bass lines and stuff. But he's also a very good singer. And by the time we get another singer who's also beatboxer, so suddenly we are four guys. Where I'm the main beatboxer who keeps the beat. Kosiga is more like supporting beatboxer with the hi-hats, scratches and effects. Ondra, he's more like a bass line, and Streno is a guy who sings. But also they change. So Beatburger band now at the moment is not so active because I'm on the way. I'm in the world now. Last year I just told the guys that I feel something. I need to go to the world. I wasn't talking like about I need to leave you guys, but I tell them something like maybe one day when I'm old I'll be really regretting that I didn't go to the world and I didn't get experiences from the world. And because they are much older than me, not so much, but I'm 24 and they're like 30, 32 and blah blah blah. So they told me, yes, sure, of course, we understand that. And they didn't have a problem with that. So I just went to the world, and the Beatburger band is in the position when we have a kind of break, let's say.
But to be continued, hopefully.
Yes, because there is a world championship, and we are talking about it, and we want to go there.
What advice would you give people that start their own beatbox bands on how to separate these sounds? Because of course it's bad when everybody's beatboxing at the same time.
Exactly.
So how would you separate that? Let's talk about this for a while.
Well, there's nothing really to explain. That must be just separated. It's nonsense to two guys doing a beat. This is what I noticed when I was jamming with the beatboxers in the World Championship and all these meetings with beatboxers. They really in the jam. We are calling the jam, but it wasn't jam. It was a kind of jam battle because there was a jamming. If you jam, you need to feel the others, and you need to create something. When you do team beatboxing, it's really important to separate that. So there must be a guy who's a lead beatboxer, or at least you need to say in this moment you are a lead beatboxer. I'm doing hi-hats, I'm doing voices, I'm doing clients, I'm doing effects. So there must be always separated. It must be good mix, good levels. Just everything needs to be balanced. Otherwise, it can be mess. Beatboxers or beatbox teams, they use singing. I noticed that some of the singing is terrible. It's really bad. So I don't know if to take singing lessons or just to be more conscious about your singing. Because for example, if you do sound of trumpet like a melody, it's already singing. You just maybe don't realize that it's not doing a sound of trumpet. It's doing a sound of trumpet and make a melody of trumpet. When you make a melody, you need to sing. You need to somehow feel the music. You need to somehow feel the melody what you're doing. So it cannot be so out of tune or something like that. So if you guys are thinking about making harmonies and stuff, you should maybe sing together, sit with piano, look for the keys, and it's not only beatbox, like team beatboxing, only about we are five, four, three guys and we're doing something together. You need to cooperate together, and if you're doing a music, it needs to be music. It cannot be out of tune. It cannot be bad.
How do you work on new beats?
Maybe you can have an idea for a song, for a cover. Maybe you just freestyle. In the freestyle, you find the best things. So I think it's very important just to record each freestyle on each rehearsal or whatever, and based on these things what you are doing in impro, you can find a really cool stuff what you can use for a routine or for a set, let's say.
When it comes to covers, what's your approach to doing covers? Because I know that some people have a problem with doing covers or doing a lot of covers or basing their show entirely on covers. So with Burger Band, what was the usual proportion of covers to original work?
Well, we did kind of a lot of covers because it was also our job, and to be interesting for people, we just had to do something interesting, which were covers actually. So we just found songs which we liked and which might be interesting for the people outside, for a festivals or whatever. But also Beatburger Band before work with professionals like Ondra Rumel and Streno was based on improvisations. So Beatburger Band, as far as I remember, was using some covers, some songs, but mostly it was freestyling. And so there, in our case, there was always some balance. So we had some songs, we said, okay, we have this song, blah, 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 blah. But then we were in the improv. You know, we knew, for example, that we sing this, I don't know, Ain't No Sunshine When She's Gone. We knew we sing that in a C minor. We have this and that and this and that. But suddenly there was a part which have never been there before. So we did this kind of balance when we was freestyling in a prepared song, but also we are also messing around and playing with stuff until we just decide somehow this is the finish of the song and we just skip that. Or if we want it, if we finish the show and people want us back, so we weren't like, what are we singing, which song we singing? No, somebody just started and we were following. We were teams, so if somebody follow, I just help him and stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
That seems very similar for me to jamming on a jam session. Like
it's kind of jamming.
Yeah. You hear one person and then you follow up.
Exactly.
Not necessarily having to beat that person or be better.
No, this is because this is not how it works in the team. In the teams, you shouldn't show up or something like that. I think, and I now noticed that beatboxers are actually keeping this, that the guys are very like equal, and this is very good. My most beloved project is a project which is called Instanext. Instanext Against Violence and Racism, which is based in Germany, Berlin, which runs like, I don't know, 21 years or something like that. And this project takes artists from whole world. For example, capoeirists from Brazil. There are musicians from Africa. They can be mimes, clowns, dancers, DJs. There's also beatboxer from Czech Republic. And this project do something which is very interesting and important for me. They combine all these arts from different cultures and different areas, and just put in one show. So we all meet. Most of us, we don't know each other, We meet for the first time, and in 1 week we need to prepare a 75-minute show, which we just traveling then for 2 months around whole Germany, and like week or two in Italy, and we're going to schools, and we come into school and we doing workshops, and we play show for the students, for these children, and it's against violence and racism. In the show we using these elements, elements of violence, elements of racism, but most important, and I actually did not realize it in the beginning, most important is actually meeting with these children, not playing this show which has these elements of violence and racism, but meeting with these children or students, and having this workshop with them, because then teachers are coming to us. You can really see the teachers, sometimes they go with you on the workshops and they try to help you. You tell somebody to do something or whatever, and he doesn't listen to you. He pretend he doesn't understand because you don't speak German. You speak some English, someone they speak good English, someone worse English. But sometimes the teacher interrupts you, trying to help you. But you tell him you don't need the help, and suddenly you find a way how to work with these children, and the teacher is suddenly so surprised because they come to us and they say, this guy, this is the biggest bully in the school, and he was working with this guy and this guy and this girl, and they were creating something together. I would never expect something like this. So suddenly this is a very important message for us, because we see that suddenly it's working what we are doing, and this is very important.
What would you recommend to a beginner beatboxer that already has his skills practiced, but needs to find work? How would you recommend for them to find promotion?
I think okay, if I can talk about the promotion, I think the strongest one is Facebook now. I don't know about anything stronger, because people, they are not asking for your email or for your phone number, they're asking for your Facebook. So Facebook, have like a profile on Facebook, and it depends if you want to keep it as a personal profile, or if you want to use it as your PR instrument, let's say. So if you keep yourself kind of alive on the Facebook, if you're posting videos, if you're posting pictures and stuff, people can see that you are very active, and it can help you. It can make a good impression about you, so it can help you get a workshop, get a showcase somewhere. But it's not only about this. From my experiences, I know that you really need to want these things. The first time I saw a beatboxer in the TV, I was 14 or 15, and I immediately knew I want to do this. You know, so everything was leading to the place where I am now at the moment. You just need to know what you want. If you want to perform, it's not only about perform. It's only about standing on the stage. It takes a lot of work, computer work, meeting people, calling, present yourself. Don't be worried about many things. I got the problems in the beginnings. I wasn't paid for the show. I didn't have place to sleep, but it didn't stop me, because I still wanted to get somewhere. You need to have an aim, and you need to just try to get there. So it's not only about promoting yourself. It can help you a lot, but it must be here, it must be here. So that's what I mean.